Welcome to chess. Very excited here. Just won a game against a computer level 12 that's in ELO of 2100. Very tough to beat. I got them to resign. I did not capture a single piece. Gonna walk through with it right now. Alright, first move. Nothing spectacular. Just moving the pawn forward. They play pawn to e5. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. I put my bishop. They play, a little fianchetto. I don't intend to actually do it. My intention is to figure out what their king is going to do and overload. So, okay, play pawn forward. They play a pawn there. All right, fair enough. I play pawn forward. They play bishop. Nothing spectacular. I'm trying to keep my position balanced here. And I'm looking to overload on whatever side they run the king to. Particularly if it's a game like this where there's a lot of pieces in play, I'd like to have my knights in play because they can be very effective there. I decided to play the pawn forward right here. And that's just to keep the bishop from doing anything crazy. Although there's probably not the best for this position. But, I've got some pawns on the right side. They play knight forward. Okay, I decided to develop this knight to the inside, and the reason I'm doing that is I think black is going to castle to the HG side or to G8, I believe. I think that's what they're going to do. That's what their tendency is in this situation. So I'm trying to get pieces in place so I can attack and overload. Okay, they decide to play their bishop forward to allow their king to castle. That's what I want to see. That signals to me, okay, time to attack. So I decided to bring this knight a little bit differently. I decided to play it over here. So they're not really doing anything right now, but I'm hoping to be able to use them effectively in an attack. They go ahead and castle. All right. Now we start using our knights. We get one of our knights in better position here where it can do something. They play their queen from from D1 or D8 to C8. I think the intent is to attack the pawn on H3, though I feel it's well defended here to at least two defenders on there. So maybe something else in mind. And the other thing is I think these engines, they look for your weak spot and they attack that. So what you have to do basically is you have to be on the attack and go after them. So right here, we're playing attacking chess. We have to go after them in order to win. Because if we're on the defensive, we're in trouble. So I decide to make my sacrifice here. I basically push the bishop B1, C1 to H6 right there. They capture. Bring the queen forward. Okay. Next move, they move their pawn forward. Fair enough. I bring my queen in position. Now I'm threatening. I'm threatening a checkmate, potentially. All right, now keep in mind the pawn on H7... The pawn on H7 right in front of the queen is got one defender. It's got actually two defenders. Well, technically one. It's got the one defender it needs is the knight on F6. So they move their knight forward, obviously threatening to check here. I decide to castle because I would have lost my rook, although I don't think it ends up mattering in this game. They play knight takes. A2 check. I play my king here. They go ahead and they thought about this for a long time. The engine thought about this. It is. They play the pawn, which I don't know that that's the best move there. But again, this engine's rated very high, so it's going to outcalculate me. You got to figure out a way to outthink it if you want to win here. So I decided to play the knight forward right there to G5. That's the big move. That's a real big move because that threatens a lot of stuff. They play the knight back there. And, okay, so I play pawn forward next. The reason I decided to play this pawn here forward, make sure you can see that there. The reason I decided to play that pawn forward is it puts a lot more pressure. And again, my big issue is the knight is protecting the h7 square, that knight on f6. So we got to figure out how to do is we need to remove that defender. And the reason I'm playing this pawn forward is twofold. One, I can do some stuff with the pawns. Two, well, actually threefold. I can do some stuff with those pawns right there. I can also I develop the bishop a little bit. I can play the rooks, and I can play the knight on e2, which is what I'm looking to do later. They play the bishop back right here, and I move the knight from e2 to g3, and that is the point where they resign because I have enough pressure to take out their king there, and they're pretty much losing. And the thing is, didn't capture a single piece in the game, so pretty sweet. Never won a game like that before against an engine rated that high that resigns after 16 moves. So that's pretty sweet. I'd like to thank you for watching and wish you good luck.